You know, this entire time I've been trying to figure out what the heck is that rumbling noise in the back of my videos when I'm editing that really pisses me off a lot, and I thought that it was just something to do with my camera or my computer being too close to my camera, but now I realize it's because my room is right next to the air conditioning unit and there's nothing that I can do to stop it. Great start to this video. Hey guys, it's Ashley, and after a long absence on YouTube in which I tried and somewhat failed to get my shit together, I decided to come back by shaming myself even more by talking about all of the books I own that I haven't read yet. This sounded like a great idea to me, and not one that would at all be humiliating or condemning to my habit of buying things that I don't really need, so I decided to do it anyway. So without further ado, by my crushing sense of self-betrayal, let's get started. Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. A girl flies some ships in space. Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston. There's a group of people in space. Frostblood by Ellie Blake. People have frost power, people have fire power, and they fight a lot. The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. The book that I kept telling myself I was going to get to last summer, and then never did. Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. Is anybody really surprised I haven't read this yet when it's taking me so long to read sequels recently? Our Dark Duet by V.E. Schwab, basically just proving the last point true. The Archived and the Unbound by V.E. Schwab. For someone who claims that she's such a big V.E. Schwab fan, why hasn't she read these yet? A Reaper at the Gates by Saba Tahir. Again, what is wrong with me and not finishing series? Why is this a thing that I do to myself? Graceling by Kristen Kishore, a book so blindingly bright that you can't even see it on camera. Also has something to do with swords and fantasy, and is supposed to be good, I think. The Demon King by Cinda Williams-Chima. Another story that was a part of my fantasy series I want to read that I still have yet to read after 2 years. You want to know a really good indicator of how long it's been since you've read a book or even thought about touching it? The amount of dust that is just floating in the air as you're pulling out the books that you're talking about. It's really something. Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh, a book that I probably would enjoy if I ever decided to get into it. Wild Beauty by Anna Marie Mclemore, one of the only magical realism books that I have on my shelf, and to be honest with you, it's been so long since I've thought about this book that I don't even know if it really is magical realism or if I'm just putting that thought onto this book because I want it to be. Isn't that fun? The Serpent Secret by Sayantani Dasgupta, the first of many middle grade books that are to come in this video. The Night Diary by Veera Haranandani, historical fiction and a diary and India and Britain and other things that I don't remember at this point. You know you have a problem when the books are packed too tightly in there and a majority of the books on the shelf you haven't read yet. I'm All Unbound by Aisha Saeed, a book that I've really only kept because I really love the cover. The Wolf Wilder by Catherine Rundell. I remember nothing. I really remember nothing. Furthermore by Tahera Mafi, an astonishingly heavy book for something that seems so small. Willa of the Wood by Robert Beattie. This book literally came to me in a box of dirt. I opened the box and dirt went everywhere in my house, and that's not the kind of thing that I want to receive, but I did, and granted it did make me want to read the book a little bit more, but also dirt. Arlo Finch in the Valley of Fire by John August. This book seems like a Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief wannabe with the sort of title, but also, I kind of like it, and I'm kind of interested. Also, there's a demon horse on the back. The first 2 books in the School for Good and Evil series by Suman Chainani. There's a good girl who goes to a bad school and a bad girl who goes to a good school, and everybody tells me I need to read it, and I just haven't yet, and don't hate me for it. Story Thieves by James Riley, another really cute looking middle grade that I just haven't decided to read yet. Sanity and Tallulah by Molly Brooks, a graphic novel about 2 girls in the STEM world. They like science. The Train to Impossible Places by P.G. Bell. There's a train, and it goes to impossible places. The Apprentice Witch by James Nichol, another book that I kept literally just because I love the cover. People need to stop making beautiful covers because it makes me want to keep the books, and it's not good for me and my sense of self-care, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Night Books by J.A. White, another middle grade that I've been talking about that I want to read for the past few months now and still have yet to pick up. What else is new? The Dark Days Club by Allison Goodman, a book that is not middle grade, but I put on that shelf because I had nowhere else to put it. Also, it's supposed to be like an Infernal Devices meets something else, and I can't remember what that something else is because I just never read it. All of the companion novels to book series that I own Let's be real, do we really read companion novels, or do we have them because it completes our collection? Actually, don't answer that. The Lightning Thief graphic novel by Riordan and a few other people. I just have to say, the one reason that I really didn't ever read much of this book was because Annabeth looks like an old woman. She looks like a 40-year-old woman, and you can't see it that much because there's a light glare, but like literally she's wearing a blazer on the train. She's supposed to be 12. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I'm gonna move over to this one now. All three of the Kane Chronicles by Riordan. I realize that I haven't read them yet. I also realize that every comment that I still get on my How to Read Riordan series video tells me, why weren't the Kane Chronicles mentioned? And I say in the beginning of the video, because I never read them and I don't know where they fit in, and yet everybody still yells at me for it. So guess what? I'm acknowledging here, I haven't read them yet. Deal with it! Got a little pent-up rage about that one, can you tell? The Trials of Apollo by Riordan, The Burning Maze, Book 3. Another book that I get comments constantly about. Why don't you make a book talk for it? Read The Trials of Apollo. It's been over a year, Ashley. I understand that. Just let me do it at my own pace, okay? Also, the cover for mine is like ripped off almost. I haven't read this book yet. I don't know how that happened. If my own pace means that I'm gonna wait over a year to read it, let me figure that out, okay? The Mistborn Trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. You know what? I actually have a story about this. I actually tried reading the first book, if I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna tell you the truth here, and I got to page 40, I think? I got to page 40 in this book, and do you wanna know what I found? This. I can't read half of the book because the pages aren't there. So, that stopped me from finishing that. Restore Me by Tahara Mafi, the fourth book in the Shatter Me series that I just never picked up. I don't really have an excuse for this one, to be honest with you. The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. All three of them, I might add. Queen of Air and Darkness by Cassandra Clare. I'll get to it when I get to it, okay? The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. I think her mom turns into a bird, but I don't know if that's metaphorical or if that like really actually happens. Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I really don't have an excuse for this either because I should have just read this already and I didn't. There's a post-it card in there. Chapter 5 test, Math Thursday, my something.com. Put that back in there. What I love is when in the middle of videos I really have to pee, but like I want to finish the video first, so I'm gonna hold off on it. Anna and the French Kiss and Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins. I never got the third one, and I don't know if that's why I never read these books or if there was an underlying other reason, but I haven't read them. I'll Give You the Sun by Jandy Nelson. We Followed Twins. It's about all I got. From Twinkle with Love by Sandhya Menon. I loved When Dimple Met Rishi. I don't know why I haven't picked this one up yet, but I haven't. It's here. Here she is. Gigarella by Ashley Poston. There's a girl and a boy and they fall in love. History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. Sad. They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Sad. We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. There's an Island and Some Kids. Any of the Jane Austen books, I have Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and Emma. Yeah, none of those. Pride by Evie Zaboy. I haven't read Pride and Prejudice, and this is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, so I think it makes sense that I haven't read this one. Oh man, now we're down to the bottom. There's so many books on the bottom, oh my god. Literally haven't read any of these books on the bottom right now, so we're gonna go through these mighty quick. And I Darken by Kirsten White. Vlad the Impaler as a girl. Caraval by Stephanie Garber. There's a Caraval and some girls and stuff happens. Labyrinth Lost by Zoraida Cordova. There's Day of the Dead. The first two books in the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. Pierce Brown? Yeah, for some reason I was about to say Pierce Bronson, then I was also about to say Pearson Brown. Neither of those are right, but we got it in the end, ladies. The Becoming of Noah Shaw by Michelle Hodkin. I haven't read the first book yet, so what makes you think I would have read this one? Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Ghosn. I'm trying to think of something to say about this one, but I remember nothing. Oh, what's that you say? Another copy of The Lord of the Rings? For a girl who's never read this series, she has mighty many copies of this series. Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. I really kept this because there were foxes and assassins, and I thought that was cool. Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. Card Games? Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. You know, I'm actually gonna read this soon. I think I really am. The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. A lot of you told me to keep this in my Try a Chapter video, and I decided to give it a chance, and yet I still haven't picked it up, so that's not going very well. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I really don't know anything about this. Is this just like a circus that comes out at night? Because that's what it sounds like. Flame in the Mist by Renee Adier. Thought it was a Mulan retelling, but then it's not really a Mulan retelling, and now I don't know what it is. Rose Marks by Olivia Blackburn. I literally don't know anything about this book. I don't know why I kept this book. I'm putting it back now. Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. It's Pirates. Three Dark Crowns by Kendare Blake. I actually do know about this one. There's 3 sisters, and they've been separated, and they're having to fight against each other to the death for the crown, and I read the first chapter and it was actually really good, so I highly recommend. I'm gonna pick it up soon, hopefully, maybe. Witchborn by Nicholas Bowling. I really only kept this for its cover too, so guilty. I'm getting hot! Mirage by Somaya Doad. There's a girl who looks just like the princess and they do a bunch of stuff because of that. The Glass Spare by Lauren DiStefano. This girl can turn people into gemstone. This Mortal Coil by Emily Suvada. The book that I thought was The Mortal Engines and then talked about it as if it was The Mortal Engines in a video, and then later found out that it was not The Mortal Engines. Furyborn by Claire Legrand. It's supposed to be a really good fantasy, but that's really all I remember. Heretics Anonymous by Katie Henry. It's a book about a bunch of outcasts in a religious school and they hang out and do things. Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I tried getting into this again for a second time and still couldn't, so it's back on the TBR shelf. 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. There's a Firebird and interdimensional travel, and that looks like Russia. Salt of the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I think this is told from World War II and we follow different people and it's supposed to be sad, but also good. And last but not least, Truth Witch by Susan Denner. There's a witch, and she can tell when you're telling the truth. And so those are all of the books that I haven't read yet. I don't know how many that was. I kept a counter down here, so I'll be able to tell you how many I haven't read. I'm not counting all of the books, so don't get that excited. I've been really good this year so far reading books that I already have, I think. But I want to be better at it. This video has shown me that I have so many books I haven't read yet, and so many books that I'm still interested in, so I need to get my ass on those books as soon as I can. Other than that, this video has also shown me that I just have a lot of things that I don't need, and so there's more room to cull. Anyways, okay, that's gonna be it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching and for keeping up with me, even though I haven't been very active on here lately, but I'm gonna be better at it. Planning a new video every Wednesday again, so be ready for that. Anyways, that's it. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.